What's going on, everyone? Just wanted to get a little something out of the way, and that will be the announcement for our next episode. The movie that we will be doing will be a little bit of an extension of our 420 celebration, and it's going to also be our first at the theater episode, meaning that we are going to go see this first run. And it's coming out on 420, of course, and it's Super Troopers 2, which... Interestingly enough, the first movie is one that we did not actually bring up in this episode, so I felt that it was best to come up here at the beginning of the episode and go ahead and make that announcement. And the episode after that, I don't know, it's probably going to be Tommy Wiseau's The Room, or I don't know, maybe Joseph Cantu needs to go ahead and pick a movie or something. Well, everyone, have a happy 420. Light that shit, smoke that shit, pass that shit, and on with the show. I'm Beau Maddox with Joseph Cantu, Elijah Cantu, and Robert Ortegon. This is Collateral Cinema.
What makes you think you can bullshit your way into my head? Like every other pencil-neck piece of shit!
Welcome to Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters, where we focus on good movies, bad movies, and everything else in between in the world of cinema. We are podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas, and yes, my friends, we are a 420-friendly podcast, so smoke them if you got them, my friends. Smoke them if you got them. And speaking of 420, that is the focus of today's episode. We are celebrating 420. That's right. The great stoner holiday. We all love it, right, Joseph?
You already know. This is Joseph Cantu, the one and only, and my son, proud to say, Elijah Cantu.
Hi, my name is Elijah Cantu.
How you doing, Elijah?
I'm doing good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So have you ever listened to any type of podcast or anything like that?
Nope.
Nope, never?
Never.
Wow, no kidding.
Well, time to get your feet wet today.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely getting your feet wet here. And like I said, we are focusing on 420. We're going to get super baked, of course.
Well,
you know,
at least most of us, but...
Most of us, yeah, most of us.
It's always good to spectate.
Yeah, it's always good to spectate. That's right.
The rules on what not to do.
Right on. And the movie we are focusing on comes from 2001. It's a pretty funny movie, honestly. It's by Jesse Dillon, I think his name is, and it stars Method Man and Redman, and it's How High. What do you think, Joseph? What did you think about this movie?
The sky's the limit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's definitely going to be an adventure, and we're going some places people have gone before.
Oh, definitely. Elijah, have you ever seen this movie?
No, I have not.
Oh, this is kind of an OG film for us, man. I mean,
we're this is like Friday after next. It's kind of instilled in our heritage.
Yeah, in our stoner heritage, so to speak. Joseph, when was the first time you saw this film?
Probably, when did it come out?
2001?
Yes, exactly. That's when I saw it.
Oh,
and I've seen it at least 100,000 times after that.
Yeah, this is kind of a movie that's in heavy rotation for our little group of friends.
Well, it's kind of like, I think it's for the world of friends, because I think it's like the adult version of Nemo.
Kind of, sort of. Oh, man. I mean, there's so many great references to other movies, like to college films, to buddy films.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely like American Pie slash college.
I think it's a little better than American Pie.
It's
honestly.
definitely like the movie College,
Oh,
but better,
definitely.
but way better.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how it would compare to something like Old School, which is kind of, that's a college
that's a
movie.
different class.
It's in a different kind of college film territory right there. But
Well, they're bringing the ghetto to the
exactly. I mean, that's what's great about this movie is that's exactly what you get. You get a bunch of movies all wrapped up into one. Really,
They're not used to that kind of culture.
I mean, yeah. I mean, seriously. I mean, like I said, you get the buddy film, of course. You got two guys that come together and they face adversity or whatever.
And speaking of that, my son is about to step into the foot of the college realm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Right.
congrats to getting a scholarship for his hard work.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
man. That's great. Yeah, this is actually a perfect movie for him to be on then.
Right.
Because, I mean, this is about two guys from the ghetto. They find a way to get into Harvard.
We're not saying you're ghetto, but
no, we're not saying ghetto. But, you're.
are you
rise
living
up out
on
the
dorm? Are you
ghetto.
living on dorm, or are you going to be staying at home?
I'm gonna be staying home.
Well, at least you stack your pockets up.
Save money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because, I mean, dorm life can be kind of expensive.
Yeah.
I imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always going to be somebody needing some kind of ramen
Oh,
noodles
yeah.
from you.
At the very least. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, ramen noodles, yeah, it's the same in jail and in college. It's pretty much currency,
I wouldn't
right?
know, but
So you say.
so I hear. I have the internet, YouTube. We get
Yeah.
around.
But that's another
That's
thing.
how I travel, by internet.
But that's another thing about this movie is that it kind of breaks some certain stereotypes about types of characters that are in these types of films. Like typically they're like straight up slackers, and they like,
Oh, exactly.
But
Actually,
here, I mean,
thugs have an education and are probably pretty intelligent.
oh yeah, and these guys definitely have an education.
Well, I mean,
you know,
if you can imagine and create escape routes, I mean, your mind is way beyond normal level.
Certainly. Yeah, like I mean, Silas. He already is using his herbal skills to make medicine. Pretty much. I mean, he's pretty much pushing medicinal stuff. And I think what was the Redman's name? It was Jamal, right?
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jamal, he's already the first person in his family to go to college. But I mean, he's just
That
kinda,
sounds about right.
Yeah, but he's just kind of.
There might be one in every group of The bigger family you have, the more odds you have of family members getting to college. I got a big
true.
Mexican family, and you know what? I'm proud to say that we have a lot of our cousins and family members that actually have education.
That's great, man. Yeah,
They're not
definitely.
all taco flippers.
And that's another good message about this film is that it does kind of advocate a good education.
Oh, exactly.
It's all about getting an education.
Just succeeding and keep on going.
Yeah.
Keep on trucking.
Yeah, I mean, and it still has all the trappings of a stoner film, I mean, it's got the silliness, it's got the random humor. Like remember that scene where they're at the THC office and that lady is giving them their test scores and that little elf comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. You can go in next.
Just randomly, it's like,
Yeah,
man,
where's Tinkerbell when you need her?
exactly, right? It's like, damn, that shit must be that good. Jesus Christ. Hell yeah. I mean, I especially love the scene where they actually meet first up.
Parking lot incident.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be something like the AC turning on me. Yeah, exactly.
Got blunt,
Uh-huh.
got weed. That's pretty much how it is. And I remember Method Man and Redman kind of saying that that's what they wanted to do with this movie was kind of portray stoners in a more, not so much completely realistic, but in a more favorable light, where it's not like just all
It's
the
not
same
always a
stereotypes.
dark cloud, huh?
Yeah.
You'd like to put the sun ray in the sunshine.
It's like, yeah, these guys are smoking weed the entire time, but they're still going to school. They're still like trying to get high
but
scores.
they're cheating. That's the main point you don't get.
I don't know. Is it really cheating though?
If you have a ghost telling you the answers,
it's
that's
like-
called cheating.
But it's coming from beyond the grave.
But
though.
it's not from your mind.
Even so, I don't know.
If it's from somebody else's, it's not yours.
That
It's
seems like
cheating.
that seems like a gray area to me. kind
Yeah,
of.
you would be. Are you from the CIA? Part of the government? Are you 50 Shades of Gray or just 51?
I think I might be at least 100 different shades of gray and white, whatever, in anything.
I
but
know it. That's what happens when black fades out. It turns gray.
But man, Method Man and Redman were great in this
They
movie.
actually are like they should have been brothers. They probably were brothers
Yeah.
at another time.
I mean, they should have made more movies together. I mean, I remember they tried to make a television series together very briefly, but that didn't last long. I think it was on Fox.
Yeah, they probably bought a bunch of nonsense. I won't say it but you get the picture.
I don't know, man. I mean, Method Man's a respected member
Oh,
of the
I
hip
know.
hop
I've seen
community.
it in his
He's
MTV
probably
show cribs, and he had his regular 2-story house, and
yeah,
looked like a regular neighbor.
yeah, straight up.
He
I mean,
said, "I
he's,
won't spend my money on expenses."
he seems to be a pretty humble guy, actually. You know, in many ways. But I mean, he plays a great character here, though. You know, like he's always on, 100%.
He's probably playing himself.
In many ways, I
He's
think he
probably
is.
acting like himself.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, Method Man going all the way back to Wu-Tang. I mean, he's always been a force in that group. You know,
yeah.
like METHOD band. I mean, who doesn't love that?
That's something we grew up to.
Yeah.
That's that Run DMC right there.
Pretty much, man. That's our Run DMC. You know, I guess the kids nowadays they have like Odd Future. I guess that's.
I don't
their
even know what
Wu-Tang.
that is. I guess I'm too old.
I've showed you some Odd Future.
Yeah, I
It's
probably
pretty okay.
chose to forget.
Elijah,
about
I'm
it.
sure you know what Odd Future is.
I chose
No.
to forget
No,
about
like
that.
Tyler the Creator. You don't know him?
No.
I've
Wow.
heard of it, yeah, but it's like if it's not my kind of
Yeah, I got
genre,
you.
I don't
gotcha.
like. I don't.
If it's not your
I don't
era,
necessarily like. I like for instance. I don't collect anime. I don't buy. I don't go looking for anime. So
yeah,
I mean,
no.
why I don't listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I
Personally,
gotcha.
I'm not too big in anime. I've
But don't get me wrong. I have
Yeah.
been
Oh, we're-
introduced through that
Yeah.
to Beau, and
We're
and
going to-
actually there are some awesome.
like there
flicks.
are some good stuff in there, but
Yeah, we are going to feature at least a few of the really good
Right.
ones.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like Akira or Perfect Blue or whatever.
Ninja
But
Scroll.
right.
But anywho, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is a really great stoner comedy. I mean, but
Yeah,
Right.
bring your lawn chair, Doritos, and a bag of
it's just so much fun to put on as a background for anything. It's like good to put on at a party. Like if you have a group of people, like you can put that on the background, and it could just be like you could have the tunes jamming and everything. I mean, it makes for good party material, I think. No,
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
I mean, and everybody.
And it's a classic movie. It's funny all the way through. You'll definitely sit there and watch it, and it's gonna be a treat. Even if you're a non-believer, you'll still enjoy the movie.
if you catch his drift. You know, if you're one of them squares. But then again, I don't think you'd be listening to a 420 friendly podcast if you were that square. I don't know. Or watching a movie like How High, you know. I mean, I don't know. What
It
do you
is
think?
rated PG, so
It's rated R, actually. I mean,
yeah,
there's
just kidding.
there's lots of pervasive language and drug use. Well, alleged drug use. You know.
prove it. Prove it.
Fucking
If
prove
it
it.
was real, it wouldn't be on TV.
Oh, of course. Oh no, I have a feeling that they were straight up really
I don't-
smoking.
I'm gonna agree with myself and say, prove it.
I have a feeling that they were actually smoking some herb while they were making that movie, and there's plenty of instances where they're straight up smoking
I'm
big
just
ass
pulling your
blunts
leg.
and everything. What do
But
you
I still think it's not true.
you don't think that they were
I plead
smoking
the
real
fifth no
weed?
matter what you say.
I think that they were smoking real shit.
Well, shut your mouth when you talk to me.
Shut your whore mouth.
You
Don't
shut
blow,
my
don't blow
mouth.
smoke in my face on 420. That means the wrong thing. Only you females can do that because I
Yeah.
love you too.
Right on. Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, it's still a classic, still being sold, and still making money.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember like reading somewhere, I think on Wikipedia, that they were trying to make a sequel to this.
Oh,
And supposedly most all of the original cast members, which it's a great cast, by the way.
but they should have
But-
been there, but they got high, and then it's
no,
like the song.
They were attached to it. I mean, they're just trying to write the script. I think there was a script that Redman didn't really like. Like he was having a hand in writing it and everything. But I mean, I think that this deserves a sequel, like straight up. I mean,
there are certain movies you always want to see another one.
yeah, like there needs to be another Half Baked. I think
Definitely.
a more modernized Half Baked now, especially in the era of legal weed. You know, I mean, that should be interesting, actually.
Definitely.
Yeah. So anyway, We will be going into all kinds of stuff about this movie. We will be going into the characters, Method Man and Redman, of course, like we're going to be talking about the many scenes and memorable quotes and everything. And also we might be imbibing certain substances while we do so.
Yeah, Pepsi Cola, cheesecake, and
Funyuns.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go into like the genre of stoner films a little bit as well. Like it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have Robert here. I'm not sure if Frankie will be here.
I pretty seriously doubt it.
I seriously doubt that.
But it's all
for
right.
various reasons.
We'll fill in.
We'll fill him in. Yeah. And
we can take care of it.
And ladies and gentlemen, this will be a fun episode. So roll it up. Whatever you have, like if you have, dab it up.
This is your little intermission moment. So this is an introduction to a beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
And we'll be back to continue.
Yep. And right now we are going to go into our plot summary for 2001's How High, directed by Jesse Dillon, starring Method Man, Redman, and Light That Shit,
Smoke That Shit. Pass that shit. So go cry in the car, roll it up, and come back after your Celine Dion.
Fuck yeah. Via Wikipedia, and spoilers are ahead. Two underachieving pot smokers, Silas and Jamal, are visited by the ghost of Silas's recently deceased friend Ivory. Ivory was cremated, and Silas used his ashes as fertilizer for a new batch of marijuana. While both are sitting in the parking lot before taking their THC exams for college, neither is able to smoke his individual marijuana stash without the help of the other. They soon discover that smoking Silas's new batch summons the ghost of the recently deceased Ivory, visible to just the two of them. Ivory tells them the test answers as they take the test, and they both score perfect scores. Several dubious colleges offer the pair scholarships, but none of them are appealing. Eventually, Chancellor Huntley suggests the two apply to Harvard University. Once there, they meet Bart, captain of the rowing team, his girlfriend Lauren, I Need Money, and their roommates Jeffrey and Tuan. Once they are settled in, they visit Dean Carl Kane, who tells them that per the terms of their scholarship, they must maintain a minimum grade point average of 2.0 in order to remain at Harvard or else face expulsion. Jamal joins the rowing team, hoping to outrank Bart. Silas enrolls in the botany class to develop his herbal skills. They both enroll in Black History together, although there are two other classes in which they have enrolled alone. Throughout the first half of the school year, they pass every test with the help of Ivory. Silas continues to woo and study with Lauren, while Jamal dates the U.S. Vice President's daughter, Jamie. Also, during the first half of the semester, they pull pranks and steal, which angers Bart, Jeffrey, who is pledging for a final club, and Dean Kane. Things go downhill after Silas and Jamal's raucous Halloween party. At the party, Gerald, the volunteer officer whose bicycle was stolen and crushed by I Need Money, steals and smokes the Ivory plant, leaving the pair without access to Ivory. Silas begins working on a truth serum for his botany class using plant extracts. Silas concludes that if his experiment works, he will earn an A in botany and a guarantee of a next semester. His experience fails numerous times. Before midterm examinations, Jamal suggests they go to a graveyard, dig up a smart dead guy, and smoke his remains, which they attempted to do with John Quincy Adams. Silas suggests simply that they study hard for a few hours a day while high. They try Silas's plan, but it does not pan out, as they end up failing almost all of their midterm exams. Desperate to stay in Harvard, they try Jamal's plan, but it proves fruitless as well. Meanwhile, Gerald, who has morphed into a complete stoner, sees Ivory during one of his binges and, at Ivory's behest, returns the remnants of the Ivory plant to Jamal and Silas. Due to Gerald's abuse of the plant, very little remains, and Jamal and Silas continue to fail their classes, which pleases Dean Kane. With the last final exam approaching, Jamal and Silas resign themselves to give up. However, Jeffrey reminds Silas of his guarantee of another semester if he can successfully fix his truth serum experiment. Silas ultimately does, having found a solution in which the last of Ivory's leaves could be used to counteract nausea. Nonetheless, because of their low grades, Jamal and Silas do not receive an invitation to the Harvard alumni party. Dean Kane, clearly thrilled with this result, tells Bart he does not have to worry about the pair showing up or staying in Harvard. However, that changes when Jamie invites them both as her dates, as her father is an alumnus. At the party, Silas makes things a bit more interesting by testing out his truth serum experiment, which proves successful. At Lauren's presentation at the alumni party of Benjamin Franklin's artifacts, she shocks everyone with her discovery. The artifacts turn out to be a bong. Dean Cain is outraged by this finding, but the Chancellor decides that he has had it with the Dean and fires him. Jamal and Silas are proud that the serum worked, a celebration that was almost short-lived, as Dean Cain returns and unsuccessfully attempts to kill them both. He is eventually apprehended by Secret Service. At the end, Jamal and Silas are able to stay, Jamal and Jamie get approval of Jamie's father to date, and Lauren leaves Bart for Silas because Bart can't satisfy her.
What is this that I found in your bedroom?
Ma, it is a lamp, and this is where you turn it on now.
Head.
Do you want to get high, man?
They've always had high aspirations.
Got blunt, got weed.
Now they're taking a shot at higher education.
If I study high, take the test high, get high scores.
Congratulations. These scores are going to get you into any college in the country.
Join us at Reparations Technical Institute and learn hatred for the white devil in a relaxed campus atmosphere.
Next.
Taking a vow of celibacy.
Next. Harvard.
Music, artists, and the women.
Shit, I gotta roll up that joint, dog.
This institution has graduated countless Fortune 500 CEOs and 6 presidents.
Method Man is Silas.
Are we in the right place? Shit, we got a black man for a teacher. What's up, bro?
Redman is Jamal.
This is crew, Jimmy.
The name's Jamal, and I'll mess your crew up.
It's rowing, Jimmy Jam.
NWA? Kid, what you know about that?
I love niggas with attitude.
Just be cool, and you might have some fun this semester.
We're having a costume party, and we want all the hoes out here to come.
Wait a minute, did you just call us hoes?
I meant that in a good way.
Oh, okay.
Silas, I know what you're trying to do, okay? You're trying to frick her.
Give me some power.
This winter,
Forewarning, gentlemen. See, I'm looking for the ecstasy, for the pot, for those shrooms.
Yeah, we looking for that shit, too.
opportunity,
We're virgins.
No.
academics,
Me and Jamal here are all about good grades. Is that right, Mr. King?
Hell, mother. Yes, sir. Dean Cain, sir.
and respect.
My bad. Did I spoil the moment?
Are going up in smoke. How high?
How did I fail women's studies? I love bitches.
All right, welcome back, everyone. That was our synopsis for the 2001 stoner comedy How High, directed by Jesse Dillon, I believe his name is, and starring Method Man and Redman. I'm here with Robert Ortegon. Unfortunately, Joseph and Frankie are not able to join us, so it's just going to be the two of us. What do you think, Robert?
Yeah, should be fine, right?
Yeah, and man, I got to tell you, I'm pretty baked right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Oh shit, man! I'm fucking stoned as fuck, and that is appropriate for this movie, man. I mean, this is totally a primo stoner film. I mean, it's not something like that I would say is an actual good movie, but for a stoner movie, it's pretty beyond what everything else is in that particular genre, right?
Pretty early 2001, right?
Yeah, it came out in early 2001, and I mean, I believe that Method Man and Redman, they were the ones that really pitched this movie, especially Redman. And what are your general reflections on this movie, Robert? Like,
The first time I saw it, yeah, I graduated. See, I graduated like 2007. You know?
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I was like, okay, I want to start piling up the stoner movies. How High, Dazed and Confused.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
All of them. Car Wash.
Car Wash
At the
is a
same
good
time,
one.
right?
Yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Snoop Dogg.
I mean, I remember seeing this, I think, roughly in my early to mid-20s, maybe just a little while after it came out. I mean, that was around the time when I first started smoking weed, like seriously. I mean, and that shit really hit me hard, you know, first time that I actually smoked. And goddamn, man, this movie right here, I mean, I've seen it many different times.
Never gets old.
It never gets old, you know? I mean, another movie like that's similar is Half-Baked, of course, which we're going to talk about a little bit here in a little while.
That movie's great.
But, I mean, I really, really like kind of the stream of consciousness that kind of the comedy kind of feels like in this movie. You know, I mean, it seems to be just coming from someplace and just keeps going and going and going and going, and that's what makes it so well suited for watching while getting stoned. You know,
I guess young stoners, right? A young stoner audience, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Even older stoners like us. You know, I mean. This is a movie that honestly means a lot to me in many ways. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it doesn't have a really great reception by critics. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has like a 26%.
Yeah, I saw that.
But the audience reception is pretty decent, actually. It's a good 79%, I think it was. So... I mean, there's definitely a disparity there. I mean, people do like it. It is like a cult classic, pretty much, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. How many times have you watched this movie high?
Pretty
much every time, right?
Every time I watch the movie.
I mean, that might seem like kind of a stupid question, but yeah, we're high. We're high. No, nothing is stupid here when you're high.
Nothing's wrong with it.
Oh, hell no. Hell nah. I mean, and it had a very interesting impact on stoner culture. I mean, like Redman states that there hasn't been a stoner movie that's done justice to portraying stoners in the way that How High did, you know? I mean, while like Half Baked is more of a depiction of stoner culture, it's like How High is more of a depiction of straight stoners in general.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, all stoners.
Yeah. And yeah, there's like the stereotypical like slacker stoners, but
the burnout and then
the
teacher, and then the
We're not even watching the right movie though.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is weird, but we do have Half Baked playing in the background because we can't get How High to play because it's on some kind of weird 4-disc collection or whatever. And anybody who collects DVDs or watches those types of movies knows how janky those things can be.
Yeah, when you don't have the remote at all.
I mean, I think that this version of Half Baked, it doesn't even have a freaking like text on it or anything. It's ridiculous, honestly.
It's like characters like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. But yeah, both of these films had a great impact on stoner culture. But like I said, How High is, to me, it's a little more superior because in a way it's a little more timeless. I mean, for some reason, Half Baked feels very dated in many ways.
Yeah, I think it still holds up, right?
I mean, it still holds up, but it feels a lot more dated than How High is. And that's weird because you do see a lot of examples of...
it's like 98, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then How High came out in 2001, you know. So, yeah. I forgot what I was talking about.
We're going off topic a little bit. No, we're discussing 2 movies is what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. But, I mean, I guess that's appropriate. We should go ahead and maybe talk about just about stoner movies in general. And, you know, I mean, where do you think How High fits into the overall lexicon of films like Up in Smoke or Dazed and Confused? Like any number of the Cheech and Chong films, honestly. Yeah. Or even like Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express, bro.
Yeah. Where do you think How High fits into all of that?
Like right at the top.
Right at the top?
I think it's a classic, yeah.
I think Entertainment Weekly, they actually put it at number 3 of their list of greatest stoner movies of all time, actually.
People keep watching it, right? I mean,
yeah, people keep watching it. I mean, it's still a very watchable movie.
I think you can download it on YouTube. It's there. Right?
On YouTube, I mean, you can stream it on Amazon, I think. It was on YouTube. I was on Netflix for a little bit. Yeah. But, I mean, I think that it definitely kind of stands up to a lot of those more, you know, those older, more timeless stoner classics. Like, how do you think it compares to something like Up in Smoke? Like, I don't think that's a real great comparison, but
it's like two buddies just meeting each other.
Yeah, I mean, there's a similarity there. It's definitely a stoner movie and a buddy movie at the same time. But of course, you know, Method Man and Redman, they added some different elements to their characters. You know, a little bit different than Chong and than Cheech and Chong.
Yeah. What was that other one with the Devin and something. Devin
Oh,
and Mike
yeah,
go to high school.
yeah. Yes, that's the one with Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa. They made a they made a movie called they made a movie called Devin and Mac Go to High School, and it was obviously trying to be a little bit too much like How High.
Yeah.
You know, like it was trying to be How High for the new generation, but it kind of fell flat in many ways. I mean, I couldn't even really explain why something like How High works, you know, other than just get high and watch it, you know.
This is all the blunts that guy was rolling. Like
There's so
Jewish, dude.
many blunts rolled in this movie. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But excluding How High, what is one of your all-time favorite stoner movies?
One of my all-time, besides How High, it has to be Dazed and Confused. You know?
Dazed and Confused, yeah. That was a Richard Linklater film, I believe, right?
Or even Fast Times, Richmond High, right?
Yeah, that had Spicoli.
That's right. Sean Penn pulled that one out of his butt. Right?
I'd like to think that in many ways, Spicoli is where we get a lot of our, you know, atypical, you know, stoner traits.
Surfer, Z-boy,
yeah,
stoner.
Yeah, it's more the surfer stoner variant. And that's another thing is that How High really kind of showed a different set of stoners.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and it was also different from the way that something like Friday depicted their characters.
Oh yeah,
you know,
we left that one out completely.
Yeah, we totally forgot Friday, man. I mean, that's an impactful film in its own right. I mean,
1996, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's very much just about somebody smoking weed for the first time when you really think about it.
You ain't got no job.
Yeah, you got no job. May as well smoke some weed. You know?
I drink.
I mean, that's another classic stoner movie that we'll get to at another time, perhaps even at another 420.
Yeah.
You know? How do you think How High stands up to that movie? I mean, that's a good question, actually, right?
Because I love them both, really.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think that they're the same in quality.
No.
I mean, I think quality-wise, like directing and acting-wise, it's like, yeah.
Ice Cube had music for that movie, too.
Friday is the superior movie there. But, I mean, I think in spirit, they kind of have a link there.
Yeah.
You know?
On the right page together, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, along with the Cheech and Chong films.
Those were in the 70s, right? Jeez.
Yeah, 70s, early 80s, in many cases.
And then they got their stand-up, too, right?
Yeah, they had their stand-up going, and they also had a band that they were releasing music as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that other than like How High and Half Baked, a stoner movie that really, really resonates with me is Grandma's Boy. Grandma's Boy, right? That's like one of my other all-time favorite stoner films.
It's Happy Madison, right? Production?
Yeah, that's Happy Madison, and it's honestly one of their few stoner movies, and that one is another one that works on many different levels, you know? Like for instance, you know, the whole element of it being in the gaming industry and everything, you know?
Oh,
I mean,
stoners and gaming. Like
stoners and
Halo.
gaming, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that just goes together like peanut butter and jelly, pretty much, you know?
Basically, Halo was hot at that time, right? Halo 2. Right?
Oh,
Jesus
definitely,
Christ.
yeah, it was. You know, Xbox had just come out. There was PS2.
Jesus Christ. Call of Duty, they got their Warfare playing too.
Yeah, in many ways, that was kind of the end of a golden era of gaming to me.
I think so too. I think it stopped at Halo 3.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Grandma's Boy, I mean, that was a movie that it didn't really follow the normal stoner genre, you know, tropes and everything, you know.
Yeah.
In a way, then that's because it was coming from a more nerdy angle, you know.
Gamers
yeah.
And their nerds.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, hey, you know, nerds smoke weed as well. Nerds like to party as well.
That movie had what's his name in it?
It had Jonah Hill in it.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, it had Jonah Hill.
Super bad.
Yeah, that was a movie that actually helped to put him on the map. Like after that, he did Superbad, right?
Yeah.
And that in its own right is kind of a stoner movie in a way, right?
I mean, he did that one movie. Was it like with Justin Long? They're in college. That was a good movie.
Oh yeah. Pineapple Express, right? Or are we thinking of something different?
I'm thinking of something else.
Because I got to tell you, I haven't even really seen Pineapple Express.
Really?
Just yet. I don't know why. I mean, that's Seth Rogen and James Franco. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know why I haven't sat down and watched that yet.
Man, it's hilarious. You need to watch it.
Yeah, seriously, man. I mean, as far as stoner movies go, like, I mean, what is it like generally? I mean,
it's like two stoners like me and you just meeting each other.
It's kind of that whole formula, but within like an action movie construct.
Yeah, they
right on.
They get framed. What's his name? He's, Seth Rogen like leaves a joint outside of the drug dealer's house.
Oh shit!
He ends up seeing somebody get murdered.
Oh shit!
And so he only has the only weed in town is Pineapple Express, and he recognized it.
Oh,
and he sold that weed to one dealer.
Oh fuck, man!
So,
well, hell yeah! I guess I need to sit down and watch that.
I need to watch it because the whole time they're running from this guy. Like,
oh man. Yeah.
It's
man.
hilarious.
It sounds like
it's
got pretty good.
It's got Danny McBride in it, believe it or not, too.
Oh yeah, Danny McBride's in it as well.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Well, fucking A. Hell yeah. Man, what other stoner movies are there to talk about, honestly? Like, what are we... It feels like we're still leaving something out.
Yeah.
You know, like... Jesus Christ, what else? Oh, yeah, the horror movies that came out, Evil Bong and Bong of the Dead.
Bong of the Dead.
Oh, yeah, we need to bring those two movies
Evil
up.
Bong.
I mean...
All Full Moon.
Yeah, stoner-centric horror. It's like, I mean... I don't know. As a horror fan,
They're hilarious. The first Evil Bong is hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, as a horror fan, I don't get it, but as a fan of stoner comedies, I'm just like, oh well, okay then. Yeah,
we'll go with it.
That works.
It's like Nukem High. Return to Nukem High.
Nukem High, but with a lot more weed.
Yeah.
Hells yeah. Yeah, I mean, and also, yeah, I mean, Doug Benson, he had that documentary called Super High Me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was where, for 1 month he was completely sober, and then for another month and the next month he just got baked every day, like hardcore, like even more than he already did beforehand.
Yeah,
like just to compare the effects, and that's definitely an interesting movie to check out. I recommend everybody check that one out.
Super High Me.
Hell yeah, definitely.
Oh, hey man, get that car fixed, yo. Bumper clock, boy.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Look at this little ass bag of fucking weed. Yes, Lord. Woo, damn. Oh. Oh, shit! A weed! Oh! No cigar? No! Fuck, bitch! Got blunt? Got weed? Man, that shit smell good as hell, dog. I'm Jamal.
Peace, Silas. So you trying to get something to bring them nerves down too, huh, bro?
Yeah, I figure if I study high, take the test high, get high scores. Right?
Right.
Right.
Look at that car.
It's on fire?
Get that, son. That shit is called the Ivory.
It's the shit, yo.
That's the Ivory right there.
God damn.
That is the shit. Wow. Hey, yo, pass that, kid.
I just gave it to the guy in the back, man.
Guy in the back.
What's up, dog?
That's Ivory.
Nah, that's the Ivory, bro. Damn.
Oh, shit. Yo, Silas. Chill out. Silas.
Word. What the fuck is going on? Ain't you supposed to be dead?
I am dead, but this is what happens when you smoke your boy.
Holy shit. Man, let me try that.
Silas, relax. Now, can we talk about this back in your car? Look, I know how you can get high scores.
So, Method Man and Redman's characters, Silas and Jamal, what's your take on them initially, Robert?
My take on them, I guess, just two guys just trying to make it through college. Just really, I don't know.
And I think that that's what kind of makes this a lot more different than other stoner movies, is that it injects those elements of the college movie, and that actually kind of influences how the characters are written in a way, you know, because, you know, Method Man, like Silas's character, as a character, like he already has a pretty
botany, right?
Yeah, he already has a pretty successful herbal operation going.
Yeah,
you know,
the other one just wants to graduate. Yeah,
and the other one, he's Jamal. He's been in community college for like what, 7 years?
7 years.
7 years.
I get 12 years out of this one.
Fucking A, dude. Like, seriously, man. But I mean, that's really what's cool about it, is that it really is all about just two guys trying to go to college and actually make something of themselves. You know, I mean, never mind their actual reasoning. I mean, they're still successful.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, can't say anything about them.
And they also never mind how they did so. Like, I don't know who I was arguing with about it, but I mean, somebody was said like, hey, they were just straight cheating. It's like they didn't legitimately go through college in that movie. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, that's true. They had their buddy.
They had their buddy, but it's like, that's kind of a little bit outside of anything that can be controlled, really.
Yeah, those questions. I mean, that's Ivy League stuff. I don't think I'm smart enough for that.
Man, I remember reading of a kid that his scores were so badass, he got accepted to all 8 major Ivy League schools.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's like, could you imagine that? Oh my goodness, man, that would be amazing. It's like, congratulations. I don't remember his name, but I mean, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah. That's fucking awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do some, kid.
And another thing that's interesting about these characters, Jamal and Silas, is that because they're a little more industrious, you know, I mean, they're not the typical slackers that you usually see in stoner films.
Or like thugs, mostly.
Or thugs, you know, it's like
rappers.
It's like they're neither of those really, man. It's like, I mean... Yeah, they're a little. It's like, yeah, I mean, they're definitely a little gangster, I guess you could say, you know. But it's like not to the point where they're portrayed as criminal or anything.
Yeah, they're just.
In fact, I think there's a deleted scene where Jamal was actually arrested, and they just went ahead and cut that out. And honestly, I think that was a good move, actually. Because honestly, I think that if they would have injected anything like that, like it actually would have detracted from the movie.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, I mean, whenever their plan goes awry, it's like they decide, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna go ahead and study. It doesn't work out, but it's like
all F's.
you still gotta admire that, you know, they're still gonna try to stick through to it and everything.
Just smoke some regular and
smoke some regs and fucking just study.
That didn't work.
And once again, they were just roll blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt. Oh yeah, that big fat motherfucker that they smoked before they started studying.
It's like, no. And then he blows the dust off those books. Nobody studies.
Oh man, that's fucking great. Like, seriously, man.
Jesus Christ.
But also, personality-wise, they're a lot more confident, too. You know, I mean, they're not like... they're not exactly losers, you know? I mean, they know what they want. They know what they're there for, and they are working to get it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, in other stoner movies, like take, for instance... This is one that we actually forgot. Dude, Where's My Car?
Ashton Kutcher
and Sean William Scott, I believe.
William Scott.
Now compare it to those characters. Those guys are just mediocre in every way.
You guys were idiots.
They were fucking idiots. Like that whole, I mean, it made for some really silly comedy that admittedly hasn't aged well.
I mean, I know Bill and Ted's not a stoner movie, but I get stoned and watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Hilarious.
That's a stoner movie, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't actually see them smoke anything.
No, I mean it's
kind of in the same way that Beavis and Butthead are obviously stoners, but you know you never see them actually get high or anything. I mean, shit, we were talking. You wouldn't even see that on television, and like characters actually being high until like that '70s show.
What about that show Weeds? Remember?
And Weeds, but I mean that came a little bit later.
Yeah, it's like 2000.
Yeah,
late.
It's like, I mean, that '70s show, I think that started in the late '90s, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so I mean that predates it, and yeah, it actually showed people baked out of their minds just bullshitting.
Another Ashton Kutcher.
yeah, another Ashton Kutcher. That's funny. Oh man, why didn't he do more stoner movies? He's a natural for it, I think.
Freaking.
He was a natural for it for a little while.
Oh, he's hilarious. I think he's an okay actor. Yeah.
He's pretty good. I mean, he's not anybody that I would like go out of my way to see their films. But
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
If one of his movies was on, I'd watch it.
I mean, they're funny.
And if he did more stoner movies, I'd definitely watch that. But I mean, you compare Kutcher and Scott's characters from Dude, Where's My Car to Silas and Jamal. I mean, for fuck's sake, I can't even remember the names from the Dude, Where's My Car guys. I don't remember their names at all.
Like a bunch of aliens looking for their...
I mean, I remember a bunch of the silliness, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, it feels like Dude, Where's My Car? It's only tangentially a stoner movie. Because you only ever see that goddamn dog get high. I swear, you only see that little Chihuahua dog smoke a bowl.
That's because he's Mexican. Chihuahua.
Chingawe.
Excuse me. Are we in the right place? Anyone? You? Anyone? You?
As I was saying, Harvard isn't for everyone.
Oh, shit. We got a black man for a teacher. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, what's up, bro? We straight. Holla. We straight.
As I was saying.
And so, he probably been locked up more times than me and your ass put together. Get him. Oh, green Jimmy the Cricket suit wearing ass motherfucker. Get him. Oh, short Colin Powell haircut having ass motherfucker. Get him. Little Angela Davis mustache wearing ass motherfucker. Get him. Little Richard Pryor shortcut fade having around the side wearing motherfucker. Little Sammy Davis Award Jr. Afro haircut having ass motherfucker. Get him. Dynamite Disco Danny devastating. Get him. Don Cornelius with a haircut.
Gentlemen. If you don't mind, I'd like you to sit down. I would like to continue.
Excuse me. Watch your toes. Watch the corn. Excuse me.
Thank you for your entertaining anecdotes.
It's like, what do you think of the whole love triangle between Silas and Bart and Lauren?
Lauren? Oh, I think it's hilarious.
What was her name?
I'll call her Lisa Turtle from Saved
Lisa Turtle, yeah, that's right. His old girl from Saved by the Bell. That's right. Lisa from Saved by the Bell. She was actually adorable in this movie, I think.
Yeah, still hot.
Yeah.
Not Timothy Amber, decent hot, but yeah.
Well, she was really cute, honestly.
She's cute.
Especially in that Marilyn Monroe get-up. That was very cute.
Bart, Mr. T.
But another character that's really interesting and that builds up the initial conflict of the movie is Dean Cain. You know, obviously that's an interesting play on, there's an actor named Dean Cain.
Well, he's trying to get him thrown out.
He's trying to get him thrown out. And I mean, the interesting thing about this is that the relationship between Dean Cain and our main characters, Silas and Jamal, it illustrates some very interesting dynamics when it comes to like class struggle. When it comes to upper class versus lower class a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't think he really thinks they belong there because
he sees them as lower than him.
He sees them as thugs.
He sees them as thugs.
These guys are trying to better themselves, really.
I mean, the interesting thing is that typically that would be a role that would be played by a kind of a white person, and he would be the intolerant jackass.
Not Richard Pryor.
But this was literally like a black man versus two other black men. The only difference was, upper class versus lower class.
There you go. Yeah.
It's like I kind of thought that was an interesting portrayal there.
Yeah, and when he gave him the brownies and the blackness came out, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
It's like, I mean, that was a little bit of a swipe at so-called,
that was funny.
So-called sellouts in that particular community. It's like, which I'm not going to speak of any further. I mean, that's a whole nother issue altogether. But I mean, when it comes to actual social class, I mean, there's even a There's even a scene where Dean Cain is talking to Hector Elizondo, you know, and Hector Elizondo, he's all thugged out and everything, and boo-foo and shit.
Boo-foo. Checking out my gear.
And he straight up is concerned about Jamal dating the vice president's daughter. And he's like, we can't have her dating someone from the lower social classes. Like, he straight up just says it.
Yeah, that's...
Like, straight up, right off the bat.
That's pretty fucking messed up.
Yeah, I mean, that right there speaks volumes. I mean, especially since Fred Willard's character, you know, Chancellor Huntley, I think that's his name. That's the character's name. Like, he's just down with these guys from the get-go, you know? And, of course, you know, Fred Willard, bless him, man. He's such a great actor and an actual treasure, you know, a national treasure, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in a lot of great movies, but, I mean, his dynamic with the main characters, it's, like, just jovial. It's like, I mean, he doesn't even care about what they're doing pretty much, especially at the end of the movie. He's just like, oh, yeah, you guys can just stay here.
You guys just move right in. You can stay here as long as
you can stay here as long as you need to. It's
Thank you.
Man, that's a sweet deal.
Like, what? Really?
Man, that's a sweet deal for a couple of stoners, but... But honestly, I mean, I think that the class dynamics in this movie are kind of empowering, you know, because in the end, they still overcome Dean Cain. I mean, Dean Cain even goes into full-on freak-out mode and tries to kill them straight up. He's like, yeah, he's straight up saying black on black crime. It's like, we won't get into that. But...
Money,
I mean, in the end, I mean, that's kind of interesting that he just goes from straight up derision to just, at the end, attacking them with a goddamn axe.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, could there be some symbolism there?
Right through I Need Money's coat.
Right through I Need Money's coat, and that's enough to make him speak. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having fun with this. This is a great movie to talk about, honestly.
Well, look who we have here.
Damn, this bike fat as hell.
Whoa, wait, don't touch. Okay, all right, leave the bike alone. Did you just call me fat? And what is that stench?
Oh, that's my cologne. Can't buy for men.
I don't know what that is. Forewarning, gentlemen, you better watch your mouths and your behinds. See, I'm looking for the ecstasy. I'm looking for the pot. Oh, yeah. I'm looking for those shrooms.
Shit, we looking for that shit, too.
What are you talking about?
Same thing you talking about.
What are we talking about?
Look, Gerald, either you're holding or you can get on your little roadster and move the fuck on, okay?
It's Volunteer Officer Picklestein, and I am watching you. Oh, I'm watching you. Like a hawk. Like a hawk!
And there's so many memorable scenes in this movie. I mean, even just starting right off the bat from the opening.
Really take a... Oh, that's... Yeah.
Now, that opening is actually just gets right to the point, and it just completely sets everything in motion perfectly. And, of course, that's the Rasta man going to Silas for some help getting his Johnson up.
My Johnson.
My Johnson.
My dick.
And that's what's crazy is that Silas straight up has some weed for that.
That's funny.
That's hilarious, right?
Got stuff for cataracts and
yeah. If you look at all the labels on his weed, it's like, oh my god.
Lip dick.
It's like, but the kicker is, of course, that I mean, it doesn't actually get your shit up. You know, it actually. So no, it won't get your drill sergeant to stand at attention, but it'll make you forget that your drill sergeant stands at attention.
Get two blades, call me in the morning, like a doctor or something.
Oh man. Oh, and then of course Mikey, the crackhead.
Oh man.
Yeah, he is fucking great, honestly.
Hilarious.
And I mean, that's what's great is that there's a lot of characters that come into this movie and just kind of are never seen again, but they're still so memorable.
What was it? Officer Picklestein with his bike?
Yeah, Gerald Picklestein.
Gerald.
Yeah, oh, that guy is hilarious.
They take his Schwinn, dude, and throw it into the street.
Oh, yeah, that's a great scene. I love that. The bicycle scene. And once again, another movie that uses Queen better than Suicide Squad. Right?
Yeah, I love Queen.
Yet another one. And that was perfect. You know, bicycle, I want to ride my bicycle. That shit. Oh, man. That is just perfection, and then the end result of it. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, there's definitely spoilers here, but I mean, I Need Money steals this guy's bicycle, runs it into the street, a semi-truck runs it over, then it backs up so the driver can ask Gerald for directions. Then it backs all the way up over there, and then it drives off all over it again. And then a car with a bunch of guys just stop and get out, and they just steal all of the bike parts, throw it in the truck. And then they just drive off. It's like, oh, that's perfect. That's just perfect. It's like
bicycle.
Insult to injury.
Hey, what's going on here?
Baby, stop! Bring my baby back! Not the hill! Oh, God! Oh, please, Daddy! I was got you! Oh, my God! Real! Oh, my Lord! Hey, no, back up! Oh, please, no!
Hey, you! Where's Alvin Third?
What? Go forward! Not forward! That's not yours! No, don't put him in the truck! Oh, my baby!
When Gerald gets high for the first time, too.
Oh, that's beautiful,
See
man.
that rainbow in his head?
Yeah, that was so beautiful, man.
That was funny.
But did you see how he rolled that shit up?
Just out of like a textbook.
In a textbook, and he literally put Scotch tape around it. Like, how would that even taste?
Jeez.
Could you even smoke Scotch tape? I don't think so, right?
No.
That would be like industrial adhesive and.
That was a fucked up joint he rolled.
Yeah, no shit. It's like, how did he get high off of that? It's like, come on, it's like, come on, dude. Use a page of the Bible like everyone does in that situation.
He's searching in the room for their weed, and he pulls up a condom.
Oh man, that's so gross.
That's disgusting.
It's dripping. It's literally dripping. It's like, oh my God,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
And he like makes a note. It's like, sanitize hands with antibacterial soap rigorously over and over again, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that shit is so funny.
Classic stuff.
But how about, the scene where they dig up John Quincy Adams? Yeah, they straight up
They dig up a smart person.
dig up a smart
person.
dead guy, thinking that they could smoke him, and
Like, this guy went to Harvard too.
yeah, they think that they could smoke him and that he'll appear and give them answers for his test scores. Because the whole conceit is that they have a specific weed plant that was grown with Silas's friend's Ivory's ashes.
He felt he.
Yeah, after his death, and we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
because that's a funny shit in its own right. But I mean, he grows this plant, they smoke it, and and his friend Ivory shows up and gives him the answers for all the tests because he's dead, and he just shows up after smoking weed with his homie's ashes in it.
How long did it take to grow? Like 2 months or?
Yeah, and Ivory shows up to Gerald. Like, that's even funnier when he shows up. He's like, "Whoa,
whoa!"
I mean, what would you do if you were high and you saw that shit?
I'd flip out.
Yeah, it's like, man, is there PCP or some shit in this?
They'd probably lock me up for going crazy.
Yeah, man, that's like going to the nut house shit right there. Like, seriously. Oh, no. Like the orientation scene, where they come in, they first meet Dean Cain.
Oh, yeah. That's hilarious.
It's like, yeah, and they just tear into him so badly, man.
Jimmy the Cricket suit. Power suit.
Dynamite Disco. It's like something to that effect.
Richard Pryor.
And everybody's just laughing at him, man. Everybody is just straight laughing at his ass. Oh yeah, and we also first meet. I believe his name is Jerry or Jeffrey.
Oh, they're two roommates.
Yeah, well, the first of the roommate, the white kid,
and then the Chinese guy too.
And the Chinese guy. Yeah.
I forgot their names. Jesus Christ, still.
Yeah, it's Jeffrey and Twan. I think that was their names.
Cool.
That was the two roommates.
The youngest Harvard child prodigy.
Yeah, the youngest child prodigy at Harvard.
I'm far East Coast.
You East Coast? I'm far East Coast. It's like, oh man, that's a great. There's so many great quotes from this movie.
It's like, dude, we'll get along together.
I think to this day, I could walk up to my brother and go, popcorn player. Like, I mean, he'll do it with me, man. He'll know exactly what it is because my brother and I, like, we watched this movie a lot, a lot back in the day.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, the Halloween party is fucking great, man. There's so much that happens there. Like, for instance, we have one of many celebrity cameos. We have Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
Or at least a couple of cameos, I think. Yeah, Cypress Hill, I mean, they're great in their couple of scenes that they're in, you know? Like, they didn't have DJ Muggs. I mean, so, like, I Need Money, he was the one that was DJing for them, and he pulls out that plate. It's like, this is going to be a long night.
Nice.
And also, that's where Silas and Lauren pretty much hook up, you know.
That party.
Yeah, at that party. I mean,
Bart's being a dick, right?
Yeah, Bart was being a dick and talking about her ass sticking out too far, which is like, dude, come on.
A dick, yeah.
Dude, come the fuck on. I don't see how you can, you know, complain about some booty.
Oh, man, you're definitely not getting any.
What an asshole. Oh, well, he deserves it. Fuck him. Yeah, Bart, that motherfucker.
I'm the captain of the team. This isn't basketball.
He's the captain. This isn't basketball, Jamal. Jermaine. It's like, yeah, he is such a dick.
An asshole.
Oh, my God.
Privileged asshole with probably driving an Escalator.
Yeah, and fucking just dating a black girl just so he can say he's dating a black girl. Like, you know that's what he's doing. Like, he sees that as just as a personal victory.
Yeah, she's not giving it to him, right? I don't know.
Oh, hell no. I mean, at the end of the movie, she just says, like, Bart, you can't satisfy me. Like, just straight up. It's like, that's like a slap to the face for a guy. Like, honestly.
And Silas is all, but I can.
But I can. That's exactly the way to end the movie right there. It's like, you can't satisfy me, honey. And then he comes in like, but I can.
Mr. T.
It's like the end.
Like, that party's so lame. Everybody's over there at the other party.
Man, the scene where Silas and Jamal actually meet is pretty interesting as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's an immortal quote right there. Like, it's someplace that each and every stoner has been at. You know, you either have a catastrophic loss of weed, or you have nothing to smoke it out of.
I got no blunt. I need weed.
Oh, shit, my weed.
So you got blunt, I got weed. Okay.
Got blunt, got weed. It's like, yeah, that's pretty much how it goes, man.
Trying to calm the nerves down, too.
It's like, yeah, for sure, man.
Like, yeah.
I figured take the test high, get high scores. It's like, I mean, why not?
Well, why not?
Yeah, stands to reason, right?
Feel a lot better, less nervous.
Yeah. Oh man, we got to talk about the Black History class. I think that Spalding Gray is the fucking teacher, and he's like full on militant black nationalist or whatever.
White man teaching
straight up black power all the way, man. And it's like, yeah, I'm raising my fist as well, dude. It's like, hell yeah. that was awesome.
Your goddamn Uncle Tom's.
Oh, yeah. He tells those other two black kids to fucking get up. Saying, lynch me for what my people have done to you. It's like, oh, well, hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, oh, all right.
Like, I'm a white man teaching black history.
That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah. For what they did to us.
It's like, that's right. Fuck history.
Take it long shit.
Oh, that's such a great scene. It's like, Who invented the air conditioner? A black man.
Black man.
It's like so much truth in that scene, man. It's like, I mean, that was actually, I mean, a few attempts at social commentary in this movie. That was interesting, I'd say. I don't know if it hit the target, but it was interesting. Also, I mean...
Talk about how Ivory died.
Oh, yeah, how Ivory died. Oh, man. So, Ivory was initially supposed to have a date with this girl.
Chickenheads.com.
Chickenheads.com. And she just rejects him. I mean, he changed up his style. He had the skid mark of Buddha on his...
Got them dreads.
He got them dreads. He's just looking all janky and shit. And she's just like, oh, hell no.
Hell no. Watch so Dance with Wolves.
Like, I'm ready to dance with wolves for you, bitch. I hope you get I hope I get you virus. You and your computer. Oh, it's like, that's mean. That's so mean. A little misogynistic, maybe.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But, you know, stoner movies.
She just got in her car and sped off. You could hear it.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Then there's the scenes with Baby Powder.
Baby Powder.
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps.
Yeah, Baby Powder. You know the pimp?
Been pimping since pimping.
Since been pimping.
My Baby Powder.
It's like, nobody says now, nothing like you say it. I don't know what that shit means.
He's the baby powder before he pimp slaps somebody.
Oh, my God. Fucking stupid.
Friday. Well, that's what she told Cocoa Butter. Now, these bitches better be out here getting my money. You know Helen back is my bottom bitch. You know that, right? Right. Okay, now the bitch better be out here checking my motherfucking money.
Please don't cuss. You know, when I'm trying to listen to the word, no, the Lord don't like that.
What did I say?
You said bitch, and bitch ain't in the Bible.
I know, bitch, and neither is motherfucker. So drive this motherfucking car. And you a assistant pimp. You ain't even a real pimp. So you're supposed to be co-signing to the shit that I say. You want to lose your job? I'm going to pull your motherfucking application. Now let's practice it. Where's my bitches?
Where's my bitches?
Where's my bitches?
Where's my bitches?
You gotta say it together. It goes in together. Where my bitches?
Where my bitches?
Okay, check this out. Okay. Where my bitches?
Where my bitches? Can't we just say employees?
What about your employees? No, fuck that. This pimping that I got in my blood, it came from a family tree. My granddaddy was a pimp. My great-great-great-granddaddy was a pimp. I'm talking about pimping since pimping.
It's in your bloodline,
It's in my blood, and you will never be that.
Why?
Because you was born, all the people in your family were assistant pimps.
Pimp, I never denied you that. I thought you was the one the Lord chose.
If it had not been for the Lord, I wouldn't have had another bitch come into my life.
Not another.
Nobody say that now nutter like you say that now nutter. Not a now nutter bitch.
And I still don't know what that shit means, but it sounds good about it.
Now nutter means don't get a now nutting.
Now nutter.
A now nutting out of there.
Nutter out of there.
Man, shut the fuck up and dry this motherfucker.
I apologize about it.
But, I mean, you can tell that Mike Epps was having fun in that role.
Hilarious.
I mean, there's even some scenes where he's just straight smiling. He's just like, oh, man, he's high as fuck, and he's just having a blast.
Having a good time.
It looked like everybody was having a good time, but you could also tell that a lot of the actors, they really, they were very professional about their
Mike Epps is from everything. The 2 Friday movies, too.
Yeah, and they had some a great cast here, man. Hector Elizondo, Spalding Gray, Obba Babatundé. Like, he was the guy who played, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He played Dean Cain. Of course, old girl that played Lisa Tuttle on Saved by the Bell.
The Bell chicks.
Yeah. I would say this is a way better role for a former Saved by the Bell alum than Showgirls was for Elizabeth Berkley. It's like, poor Elizabeth Berkley. Poor girl.
There was Chuck Liddell in there for a second.
Yeah, that's right. Chuck Liddell was in there for a very brief second. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's almost like blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
MMA fight. Click, click, pull.
Click, click, boom. Oh, that fucking song. Jesus. Fucking butt rock. That's what that is. Straight butt rock. Like, seriously, man. I mean,
man. Love it, man.
Also, and yeah, I mean, there was a lot of great performances throughout this entire movie. I mean, Method Man and Redman themselves. I mean...
and the boat paddling, too.
I mean, in the end, they were just playing themselves, and I think that's what actually kind of sells it a little bit.
Playing themselves. Yeah,
I mean, they're not like superlative actors, but I mean, they do what they do well. and they do this movie well.
Making the transition from rapper to actor real quick.
Yeah, and they did that pretty well. You know, I mean, there's some instances where it was a little janky for some people, for some rappers.
They did good.
You know? Yeah, and you know the soundtrack was actually pretty good as well. Like, I mean, I think it had like James Brown, like in that party scene. Oh no, the in the scene where where Lauren shows off her the bong, shows off Kirk Franklin's bong. That's so fucking great. And then Dean Cain is fired, and then they play The Big Payback by James Brown, and that is just perfect. The Big Payback. Oh man, I love old school James Brown, dude. It's just something about that production that just gets you moving, man. I love it.
James Brown.
Fucking love it. And of course, the songs that Method Man and Redman did for this was pretty awesome. If you listen hard enough, I mean, there's some Parliament and Funkadelic on this. I mean, there's like, man, what else was on this soundtrack? There was a lot of different artists on here. Oh yeah, Rammstein was on here.
Dude, there was
Rammstein's Du Hast.
NWA too.
Yeah, that's right. NWA was in there. Yeah, definitely. Very briefly. I mean, I think there may have been. Of course, there was a reference to a Wu-Tang song. I mean, it wasn't the actual song. It was just Mike Epps, but I think that was still credited on the soundtrack. But yeah, the soundtrack definitely makes the movie flow a little bit, you know? Because like I said earlier, this is almost like a stream of consciousness in a way. It really seems like everything just kind of flows from one end and it just kind of doesn't stop, you know? And then I think that's what really works with this movie is the pacing in a way, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Everything just flows together.
Yeah. I mean, and for all intents and purposes, it is pretty much just, sometimes it's like random non sequitur scenes kind of thrown in there, you know? You're just like, wow, where did that come from?
Where when they meet those nerds, it's like, we're virgins. Like,
oh, yeah. That shit, it's like, that just kind of comes out of nowhere.
It's like, and no, you're not.
It hits the punchline, and then it's just, I mean, you hear from the characters again, but it's like, wow, where did that come from?
Right.
I mean, other than just establishing that Silas and Jamal get some sex, you know?
Make their Girls Gone Wild video, too.
Oh, that's so ridiculous.
Start selling it on campus.
That is absolutely ridiculous, man. So, we're doing this episode for the 420 holiday. And if you're a stoner like us, that is a day that definitely means something.
National holiday for us.
Shit, in many ways, international holiday. Even.
International.
I mean, every year I've always made it a point to celebrate 420 in some way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how do you feel about the holiday in general, you know?
I used to watch G4 all the time for the 420
I know. Right? I remember back in the day.
Those are great stuff.
Yeah. On 420, they would have all kinds of interesting programming.
Like they would be in Amsterdam or they'd be in Jamaica getting stoned or something.
They actually have a documentary on
Olivia Munn, right?
On how 420 came to be.
Oh yeah, I saw that episode. We watched all that live, right? Yeah, we had to.
Yeah. I think that it was all broadcast live, and then they would just the host segments were live, and then they would show some shows, and I think Attack of the Show was live.
Yeah,
and from Jamaica a couple of times.
Some more gaming.
I miss G4, man.
Right, like Ninja Warrior too.
Yeah, that was where Ninja Warrior came from. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people. They see the American version on I think it's NBC, right? Or is it ABC?
One of those. Maybe it's like Spike or Pop or something.
No. Sure. It's one of the alphabet networks. Yeah, I mean, I think it might be NBC. But I mean, it's pretty similar to it. But I mean, I don't know.
The Japanese version's the best.
The Japanese version is amazing.
The obstacle course is just crazier.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, they imported a lot of obstacles from that, but yeah, that's a pretty good show. But yeah, 420 on G4, that was definitely a great memory, you know? I mean, I kind of wish that G4 was still around, but
yeah, me too.
It was a bunch of bullshit that kind of took that down. I think they even showed certain movies, didn't they show a stoner version of Night of the Living Dead or something like that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, I remember it was like they dubbed it over to sound really silly, like the entire original Romero film.
Oh,
yeah,
the original, the '69 one.
Yeah, the original '69 one, and they just dubbed it to be
68.
kind of very silly and stonerific and stuff like that.
They did that to a classic.
Yeah, yeah, they did that to Night of the Living Dead. I mean, well, remember, Night of the Living Dead is in the public domain. Like anyone can pretty much make a. I don't know after they released it on Criterion if it's on the private domain, on the public domain, I should say. But yeah, they actually made a version of that with dubbed dialogue and everything.
Gotta check that out.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if it's on YouTube or anything. So what is your overall favorite movie to get high to in general?
Oh, we left out Harold and Kumar.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I like that one.
As far as stoner movies
that was
concerned,
2005. That was not that old. I mean,
it wasn't.
that time.
No, it wasn't that long ago. Like just over 10 years, honestly.
Original Kumar, Harold and Kumar.
Oh yeah, go to White Castle. It's like that's a fun movie. Like I'm down to watch that anytime. And that's probably the only movie that probably bests How High, honestly.
Yeah. The opening where he's just waiting for him to get
I
home.
think it's even better than Half Baked, to tell the truth.
The opening scene really gets stoned. It's funny as hell.
It really is, man. That is some hilarious shit. But as far as just movies in general, like what movies have you gotten high to, and what's your favorite movies to get high to?
I have to say, Friday the Christmas one.
Oh yeah, that one is great.
And,
doesn't that have Cat Williams and Terry Crews in it?
Yeah, it does.
That is some funny shit. The nuts in a vice grip or in the pliers scene.
Getting jacked by Santa Claus.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, the first Friday is always going to be the best, but that one is actually pretty decent to put on. Like all three of the Friday movies are pretty okay to watch.
There's next Friday after the next.
Yeah, next Friday is actually surprisingly watchable.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the characters return.
Rancho Cucamonga.
I mean, hell, they even had Debo come back in the second one.
Yeah.
It's like Debo.
The father's hilarious. Got bit by a stinky dog.
I mean, I generally, when I get high, sometimes I like horror movies, and other times I just like to watch like Mystery Science Theater 3000 and just jam on some old school shit from my childhood. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, also sometimes old school action movies are good for that. You know, like Die Hard is actually pretty fun to smoke too.
Like smoking, watching the new Star Wars, any Star Wars movie that come out.
Oh yeah. Getting high and watching old school Star Wars is what's up. Like honestly, classic shit, man.
Stuff never goes out of date. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. And I know it's not necessarily movies, but anything from Adult Swim is definitely killer whenever you're smoking. Like pretty much anything by them, especially the old school stuff like
cartoons.
Oh yeah, cartoons in general are fun.
Network.
Yeah,
Invader Zim or.
Invader Zim.
I watch Hey Arnold, Old Stone, or whatever.
Oh man, that's fun. I love watching Nicktoons stoned. It's like a whole nother dimension.
Oh yeah.
I still haven't really watched Ren and Stimpy high just yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen all that.
Oh man.
But Rocko's Modern Life, yeah.
I actually have that entire series on DVD, the whole series. That is actually a lot of fun to watch.
Good stuff.
Especially when you get high.
You have like Cat Dog too. I mean, that's hilarious.
Cat Dog was great. I mean, as far as movies though, I mean, sometimes I like to put on like the old slashers.
Yeah,
like
I do.
Friday the 13th is actually very amenable to smoking.
You know, I was smoking on watch like low budget indie films.
That's always fun.
Scary low budget horrors.
Yeah,
right.
And then there's just some movies that are just so fucked up that you kind of have to have some weed and some booze to watch it. Like I Spit on Your Grave, or even like Funny Games or something like that.
You ever seen like Sleepaway Camps?
Oh yeah, I've seen the first Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, the first one was creepy. With like
the other two,
Teenage Wasteland. And
the other two I'm only really aware of by way of the Cinema Snob reviews.
Those are
Brad
pretty
Jones did.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, don't you have like which one do you have on DVD?
I don't have. I think I have them on Netflix. Really. Yeah.
Oh, you don't have any? I remember. I thought you showed me a Sleepaway Camp DVD.
Sleepaway Camp. Oh, I think I showed you on my phone.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Sorority House Massacre. Like I think I showed you stuff I wanted to get, like my wish list or something.
Yeah, man, old school slasher movies are great to watch stoned.
Hell yeah,
man. Because I mean, some of them can just be so fucking silly that it's just like, oh man, how could anybody have ever really taken this seriously?
Still good. I mean,
yeah, it's like, I mean, like for instance, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. That's definitely another stoner horror classic.
Watch it for the art, all the lens work.
Yeah. And I don't know, I mean, just the griminess of that one, it just kind of lends well to getting high and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. Also, you know, like the Terminator movies are good. You know, just smoke a couple of blunts while watching that shit.
Watch a whole series.
Watch the whole series, but especially those first two movies.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day is great.
Man, you can't remake that one. That one's bad.
Oh, hell no, man. Also, any of the Paul Verhoeven movies are top notch when it comes to getting high, man. Like Showgirls, everybody needs to get really, really baked and watch that one at least once, because that is just hilarious. And it's actually a well-constructed movie, to tell the truth. It's not necessarily well acted, especially not by Elizabeth Berkley, but you know.
Right, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Gentlemen, this institution has graduated countless Fortune 500 CEOs, 41 Nobel laureates, and 6 presidents.
Again, those all them fly-ass women the chancellor was talking about. I mean, so far, only seen some stuck-up, nerdy-ass looking women out there.
You were dropping Cheetos on an original 18th century hand-woven tapestry.
You mean it's carpet?
This is out of my personal collection. I got this in my travels to Nepal.
Man, I know the bitch that make these rugs. You know why Nina and them.
I remember that, man.
It means the world to me. Now, as I was saying, here at Harvard, we have very high standards. Any student on a scholarship must maintain at least a 2.0 average, or you will be expelled.
It's good to know we have the support of the faculty, Dean. And don't you worry, me and Jamal here are all about good grades.
Is that right, Mr. King?
Hell, motherfucker. Yes, sir, Dean King, sir.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. I guess this is the time where we start to wrap things up. Robert, what are your final thoughts on this movie?
I wish they could have made another one too.
Yeah, supposedly they've been trying to make one like ever since the first one was released, but apparently I think it was Universal, right? Like
Universal.
Yeah, they still own the rights to How High, and they're not letting it go for some reason.
Selfish bastards.
Yeah, no shit, man. I hate that shit. Fucking bastards. It's like that's the same reason why Tom Green can't make another Freddy Got Fingered, or actually release a director's cut of Freddy Got Fingered.
Hilarious.
That's a movie we're going to feature sometime soon in its own right, because I think that is a goddamn work of art. That's pure genius.
Jesus, I remember putting that on in front of my dad. He was like, what the hell are we watching?
Oh, man. We're not even going to get into any of it, man. We're just going to save it for the episode that we do.
No spoilers. We'll save it.
Whenever we do it. I mean, that's a fantastic movie. And Criterion, you need to release that film. Criterion Collection. Everybody hound the Criterion Collection. Make them release that movie. Like, seriously.
Do it.
It deserves a proper release, I think.
Nibbles, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're still watching Half Baked when we're talking about How High. That's how stoned we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're that stoned. We're not even watching the right movie.
I think we just love movies in general.
Oh yeah, of course. We totally love movies in general.
But we need to stay on topic.
Yeah.
Right, man.
But anyway, you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. We are now on WordPress and Tumblr. And we're also on Google Play. You can find us on iTunes, on Stitcher, YouTube,
Facebook,
Instagram us. And also look for us on Patreon. Please donate to us. We definitely want to try to turn this into something to make a living, maybe.
You can find some of my movies on Facebook, too.
Oh, yes, yeah. Robert Ortegon, what's your handle on Twitter?
I do have a Twitter account. I don't have anything set up really yet. I haven't even tweeted yet.
Oh, man, you guys start tweeting, dude.
Yeah.
Like, especially if we're going to be involved with a podcast, man.
Yeah.
Like, I need to get myself
I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I got to get myself my own thing. But anyway, thanks for listening, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, enjoy your 420 holiday. Happy 420.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. See you later, everybody. Collateral Cinema. Out. And before I forget, our intro song is by Dark Sun. Check him out on Twitter. Collateral Cinema out.
Bye, everyone.
I'm out the gutter. I'm out to send your baby mother out for rubbers. We fucking tonight. Bitches wanna crowd around how I'm cuffing the mic. I'm a gorilla. Leave a banana stuck in your pipe. Cause I'm a real block winner. With Doc Inner. Bitch, one of my balls bigger than the Epps Center. Smoke cheeba, cheeba, smoke cheeba, cheeba. You're so hot that I can kiss the sky.
Collateral Cinema is an L Company production. All music and movie clips are owned by the respective creators. Please don't sue us. We're poor.